So we covered last week the Matthew Hoh thing in North Carolina, where Democrats have managed to essentially kick a Green Party candidate off the ballot. There's been further developments. The Democrats are going around campaigning to try to get people who signed a, you gotta get a certain number of signatures to get on the ballot, right? So they're going around to everybody that signed to put Matthew Hoh on the ballot and essentially trying to run a campaign to get those people to revoke those signatures. Now, this is common practice when a third-party candidate makes the ballot. And that should tell you that this party that calls themselves Democrats is far from democratic. This original tweet was from David Axelrod, who's a famed Democratic strategist who, he's famous because he was one of Barack Obama's top political strategists and managed to win the White House in 2008. And ever since then, we've all listened to him unconditionally, unfortunately. He says, the best and most effective way to respond to blatant, calculated efforts to discourage voting is to vote in record numbers. First of all, that statement means like literally nothing, right? Literally nothing. But anyway, response here from @TK Koza. They post some screenshots and he says, what do you think? They say, what do you call this, you partisan hack? It's a Ryan Knight tweet. Breaking: Green Party candidate Matthew Hoh did the hard work of collecting the 13,865 signatures required to get on the ballot. He submitted 15,953 signatures, and the Board of Elections just voted 3-2 not to certify it. The three people who voted to subvert democracy are Democrats. Matthew Hoh's tweet here is, in the North Carolina State Board of Elections meeting, our lawyer Oliver Hall just asked if there is any question about the validity of our nearly 16,000 signatures that have been validated. The board chair refused to answer the question and muted our lawyer. We covered that clip last week. That is also up on the Real Progress in Action YouTube channel. If you missed it, you can see my coverage of that clip, and we showed that clip too. It's just quite remarkable. Carrying on here, another from @TK Koza. This is a series of Democratic, Democrats reaching out to try to get people to revoke their signatures to put Matthew Hoh on the ballot. Hi, Matthew. My name, it's a coincidence that this person's name is Matthew, but hi, Matthew. My name's Drew, and we're texting you because your name was listed on a petition submitted to help place the Green Party and its candidates on the North Carolina ballot in 2022 and 2024. We just wanted to confirm whether you signed this petition. Yes, I did sign. No, I did not sign. Not sure. Wrong number. So they're trying to imply, and by the way, this isn't a coincidence. Look at the bottom there, you guys. I'm sorry. This was Matthew Hoh himself that they texted. The incompetency, right? But what they're trying to do is imply that there was some sort of formulated campaign to get Matthew Hoh on the ballot that was, in some way dishonest or deceitful. And I saw a clip of a woman who was contracted by the Democrats going door to door and making some very disingenuous implications about how that list of signatures came to be in an attempt to get somebody to revoke their signature. So this campaign this is a very real campaign that they are putting large amounts of resources into. Another text here. He says, one, which was, yes, I did sign. Thank you for confirming. If the Green Party is on the ballot, it will give Republicans a huge advantage that will help them win in North Carolina in 2022 and 2024. In past elections, we've seen that the Green Party takes votes away from Democrats, which helps Republicans win. With abortion rights in the balance, they're going to weaponize that now too, while they do fucking nothing about it. With abortion rights in the balance, we can't afford to give Republicans more of an advantage. Are you interested in asking the elections board to have your name removed from this petition? So you guys see what they're doing here, right? He says, 2, no. I understand this seems like a lot of effort, but we want to make sure the Democratic candidates have the best chance to win this November, and this could make a big difference. Would you be willing to have your name removed? Yes or no? So they just asked the same question again. And he says no. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. He says, what organization is this? The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee. The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, the DSCC. Again, like, what analysis or commentary can I add to this? It's remarkably undemocratic. The same party that rightfully condemns Republicans for attacking access to voting is currently trying to attack people's access to voting. It's a sad state of affairs when neither major party could give two flying fucks about your ability to vote. By the way, the Democrats also opposed ranked choice voting in Maine and in New York, and I'm sure elsewhere. So it's just incredible. And I also, I don't have any numbers to back this up, you guys. So maybe I'm wrong, and it's entirely possible I'm wrong about this, but just my, feeling is that there are very few people at this point who would sign a petition to put a Green Party candidate on the ballot that have any sympathy for the Democrats. If you're signing a petition to put the Green Party on the ballot, it's because you recognize what a shit party the Democrats are. No one signing to put the Greens on the ballot is sympathetic to Republicans, outside of maybe an extreme minority of out-and-out political operatives, right? But the point is, even if they get Matthew off the ballot, which it appears they have done, there are still procedures that have to go forward, but it appears they have done. How many people who signed that petition are going to be like, oh, well, I guess now that you kicked my guy off the ballot, I guess I'll go ahead and vote Democrat. I mean, it's you guys, they're like, it's magic thinking. They're living in la land. But they're, of course, pouring massive amounts of resources into this, instead of, by the way, pouring those resources into campaigning on why their candidates are the best. So that's almost a profound admission in and of itself. If you really had the best to offer, if you really had a winning candidate, if you really were the best for the people, wouldn't your resources be to proving that, not to making sure you have no competition? I mean, it's just pathetic. It's pitiful. It's sad. But hardly surprising, again, that this is how the Democratic Party has responded to Matthew Hoh and to Green Party candidates all across the country. Of course, this was also true in 2020, you guys. I know for a fact in Wisconsin, they got Green candidates kicked off the ballot. And I think in other states too, but definitely in Wisconsin. So the Democratic Party is anything but democratic. And they know that they don't have anything to offer, so they can't just win an election outright. They know they have to play this kind of dirty pool to even have a chance. And again, I don't even think their dirty pool is effective, because who are you winning over with this? Like, if anything, you're martyring Matthew Hoh, and you're going to further entrench the Green supporters in their position. If anything, they're going to be more upset with the Democrats and less inclined to support them or vote for them. So it's kind of a fascinating dynamic in that sense, but it's a very revealing strategy from the Democratic Party. And again, hardly surprising, but very worthy of coverage, right? So we'll keep up on that as developments present themselves. But it looks like the Democrats are going to be successful in removing Matthew Hoh from the ballot in North Carolina. And again, like, I'll be surprised if that makes a difference. Democrats might win that election, but I don't think it's going to be because they kicked Matthew Hoh off the ballot. And frankly, they're going to get mollywopped all across the country. So if I had to bet on it, I would probably bet on the Republicans in North Carolina at this point. And it's another instance where Democrats are wrong both on principle and in strategy and in practice.